Okay, so we're going to take a moment or a day to review the mean, median, and mode that you have talked about before, and then box and whisker plots, which are sometimes called a 5-number summary. Because we need to see these things in Chapter 9, it is important for us to review them from last year. So, remember there are some posters in my room that help talk about this. The mean is what most people know as the average. That's when you add all numbers and divide by the amount of numbers that you added. The median is the middle number when listed from least to greatest. I'm going to abbreviate that. If there are two numbers in the middle, then you add those two up and divide by 2. The mode is the most occurring. Frequently, there is no mode because not always in data sets is there something that happens more than once. And range is the largest minus the smallest number. So how big your data set is. So that's a refresher on how to do that. Now for the sake of the video, making it shorter, I already listed my data set in lowest to greatest. So you can go ahead and do that. I always try to count the number that was in the original, and I counted here to make sure I had them all. So you can pause and rewrite them. But what we're going to do to find the mean is we're going to add them all up and divide by their 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So if I add all those up, so I have 9 plus 11 plus 11 plus 12 plus 13 plus 18 plus 22 plus 25 plus 28 plus 31 plus 34 plus 35. As long as I didn't make a mistake in my calculator, which I'm not going to double check, I get 249. If I divide that by 12, I get the average is 20.75. So the average for whatever type of data this would be 20.75. The median is the middle number when I go from lowest to greatest and I find the middle one. Since there are 2 in the middle, I have to add them up and divide by 2. Or I can think what number is in the middle between 18 and 22, and that number would be 20. So far the mean and the median are close, which is great because these are different types of averages, even though this is the average we most commonly call it. This is an average, this is an average, and this is an average. Mode would be the most occurring. So 11 occurs twice, and that's the only thing. So these are very different. So a more accurate representation of these data are going to be mean or median just because those are close. And the range is going to be the 35, the largest number, minus 9, which is going to give us 26. And the range really is not an average. So these 3 are kind of their own category, and a range just tells you how spread out the data is. So if we were to take those and make a box and whisker plot out of it, I guess actually there's a new set here. So step 1 is going to be to order from least to greatest. And I wish I would have taken notes to do that. So the smallest number looks like 17, and then we have 22, 22, 20, oh, I missed a 21 in there. 17, 21, 22, 22, 26, 30, 38, 59, 67, 85. Okay. Step 2, identify the min and max. The minimum is 17, the maximum is 85. So then those things get labeled on our box and whisker plot. The first arrow is going to be my min, and the last arrow is going to be my max. So the minimum is 17, the max is 85. In the middle is going to be the median, the very middle. That's our third number in a 5-number summary. And this is going to be called quartile 1, which we'll have to find. And this one is going to be called quartile 3. Okay. So again, same thing, same set of data. So to find the median, now it's listed from lowest to greatest on this side. So if I were to find the median, I again cross them out till I find the one in the middle. So if I add them up and divide by 2, or I know that 28 is in the middle, then that would be my median. Find quartile 1 by splitting the data in half. So split data. Since this one has 2 numbers in the middle, we split it in half. If we had 1 number in the middle, we would just ignore that number. And then quartile 1 is the median of the lower half. So I'm going to cross these numbers out till I find a number in the middle, which is 22. The third quartile is the median of upper half. So I would cross these out and end up with 59. Okay, so in case there was, though, in the future, a data set that looked like the same thing, but let's take off the 85. So we had 17, 21, 22, 22, 26, 30, 38, 59, and 67. The median would be one single number, and then to find the Q1 and Q3, we would ignore this. And so Q1 would actually be this one, 20.5, because it's between those. And then Q3, the upper half, would be added those two up and divide. So if there is only one number for the actual median, ignore it. Okay, now step 5, so we're coming up with a draw and whisker plot. We're going to draw a box and whisker plot above a number line. So if a number line isn't given to you, you might have to make one. So this one is sort of given to us, but no number line. So we're going to draw it above. So the first dot on our box and whisker plot is going to be our minimum. Minimum, not mix. Minimum. So, and I'm going to label that as 17. Our last one is going to be 85. Label that as 85. It doesn't have to be a perfect number line. And then the median, or sorry, we have Q1, then Q2, which is the median, and then Q3. So Q1, we found over here, is 22. Well, that's definitely closer to 17 than it is to 85, so I'm going to go ahead and put that there and call that one 22. Now there's a line connecting that. The third important line is the median. When we said the median is 28, so that's close, way definitely closer to 22 than it is to 85, so 28, we'll call that 28. Like I said, it's not perfect. And then we have Q3, which is 59. Now that's quite a bit farther. That's about halfway between 28 and 59. So using some logic there, we got 59. All of these get connected, and then we draw a box around the 3 in the middle. That's our box and whisker plot. And then we would put a title up here, but this one doesn't have a title. Okay, so that's a refresher. You need to go back and review this. So data between minimum and Q1, it's a fourth of the data, so it represents 25% of the data. Data between Q1 and the median, another 1/4 of the total, so 25% of the data. Between median and Q3, again, 25%. Q3 and the max, again, the fourth part. The whole plot represents 100% of the data, so if you add them all up. So again, this is the minimum, this is the Q1, the median, Q3, and max. The box and whisker plot is broken up into 4 distinct portions, and each portion represents 25% of the data. It just doesn't always look the same because the data is spread out. Okay, so random fact, Donald Duck comics were banned in Finland because he doesn't wear pants. Have a great day. For the homework, you're going to need some dice and your iPad.